Hey there, I'm Ashlynn Cubbison, the creator of the Fruitful Time-Blocker Planner, and in this video I'm going to cover how to use the goals section inside of the planner. If you didn't watch the first video I posted about how to start using your planner by identifying your priorities and your time blocking categories, then please make sure you go back and watch that video first. If somehow you stumbled across this video and you don't have a planner and you are curious about what I'm talking about, then I also created a video about what is inside of the Fruitful Time-Blocker Planner, and you can find that video link in the description below. Hit the subscribe and bell button to be notified every time I post a new video about the Fruitful Time-Blocker Planner or about time management and productivity. I'm really passionate about helping you with your time management and productivity journey, so grab your planner and let's get started. This video is all about the goals section inside of the Fruitful Time-Blocker Planner, and I don't know about you, but I have loved creating goals for as long as I can remember. Something about just pushing myself and dreaming and trying to be a better person or a better version of myself just really motivates and excites me. Goals help you direct your focus, energy, and time. But without a plan, in a world full of distractions and pressures and obligations, oftentimes our goals can get pushed to the side. This is exactly why it's so important to write your goals down, break them down, and to fuse them inside of your time management system, which is exactly what you get to do inside of the Fruitful Time-Blocker Planner. First, you're going to start off with a little bit of a brainstorming session if you haven't already completed that inside of your planner, which at the time of recording this video, the brain dump section is on page 18, and it actually shares the page with your priorities. And I really did that intentionally because brainstorming, priorities, and your goals, they all need to kind of come together so that you can achieve what you want this year. There's a chance you already completed the brain dumping section when you listed out your priorities, and if you did, that's totally okay. We are going to get into our yearly goals section next. In the brain dumping area, what I want you to do is just start dreaming, thinking about your hopes, your wishes, what do you want, and don't let perfection hold you back here. This is where you're just kind of writing things out and letting it flow. Don't hold yourself back and just try to come up with the perfect goals or anything like that. This is just to get your juices flowing. Once you've written out your brain dumping section and the priorities, which we covered in the last video, it's time to move on to your yearly goals. There are 5 categories that I encourage you to complete when creating yearly goals, and those are personal, family and relationships, spiritual or faith, business, and financial. The reason I have these broken up into different categories is because what often happens when people are creating goals is they really focus heavily on 1 or 2 aspects or areas in their lives, but they neglect the others. So by breaking them up into 5 different categories, you really get to look at every facet of your life. This will help you and your goals feel more balanced. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, or you work for a company, or I don't know, there's another reason that the business category maybe doesn't fit for you. You can either choose to leave that blank, or you can cross it out and write a different title there. If you do have like maybe a 9-to-5 or you work in a corporation, you can definitely just put your work goals there instead. Before I start filling in the yearly goals section so that you can see this all in action, there are a few things I have to stress first. Number 1, do not overload your goals. So each category, I want you to pick a max of 3 goals per category. Some you might only have 1 or 2, and that is totally okay. A lot of times what people do is they jam pack all of their goals and they, start the year off so excited and motivated, but it starts to fizzle out and it's really hard to sustain throughout the year. So a max of 3 goals per category, which would be a max of 15 goals per year. To be honest, I've never used 3 goals in every single category, so I would encourage you to do as slim as you can and just achieve the goals you set. Number 2 is I don't want you to make your goals too easy. After talking to many people, I've learned that sometimes if people aren't overloading their list, then they're creating really easy goals. I mean, goals that they're going to achieve in like 2 months, which, yeah, maybe you feel great that you achieved it, but you want this to be a little bit of a stretch. You do want to feel like you are challenging yourself a little bit inside of your goals. I think sometimes people confuse goals and habits together. Now, if you're trying to create a habit, yeah, make it as easy as possible. If you want to do push-ups every day, start with 1, because once you get down on the ground and you do 1 push-up, you're going to do more than 1 likely when you're down there. But habits and goals are different, so I don't want you to get those mixed up. And then number 3 is the totally other end of the spectrum. Do not create unrealistic goals. So for instance, with me and this YouTube channel, this is a brand new YouTube channel, and I actually have one of my goals this year about this channel. But let's say I wanted to hit 500,000 subscribers this year. That is completely unrealistic. Sure, maybe by some crazy accident, a video goes viral and I do blow up. That would be amazing. But I'm going to kill myself this year if I try to make that my goal. So you want your goals to be a little bit of a stretch, but don't be completely unrealistic. Really stay grounded in where you currently are on your journey and make your goals appropriate. If you've set goals in the past before, have you ever been guilty of one of those? Drop a 1, 2, or 3 in the comments. A 1 if you overload your list, a 2 if you set too simple of goals, and a 3 if you tend to set unrealistic goals. And I am going to give my answer in the comments below also. Now here we go. Let's complete my yearly goals. Something that I really encourage you to do before you actually write yours down is review your priorities, because you want your priorities and your goals to line up. If you plan on working less this year, but then your business goals are super huge stretch goals that are going to cause you to work more, then your priorities and your goals are not in line, and you need to figure out which one means more to you. So the first category we're going to cover is personal. For me, this is anything that really has to do with myself, whether it's a growth that I want to achieve, or if it's, reading X amount of books or exercising, just really something that is going to really take care of myself, and it's something that matters mainly only to me. My personal goals for this year are read 5 books and work out at home 3 times per week for 20 minutes. I am getting ready to enter into a different season in my life. I am due with my 3rd child, and he is coming in March. And so I really want to make sure that I don't overload a lot of my goals list this year, especially my personal goals, because as a mother, I just know that a lot of times when you're in that early beginning stages, a lot of the things that you want to get done don't always get done because you are taking care of another little human. So I want to make sure also that you check in with your seasons of life, and if you have something big that's coming up or some huge change, make sure your goals reflect that, because you really want to set yourself up for success. These 2 goals that I listed, I feel like are very doable even with a newborn in the house.
Next are family and relationship goals. My 2 goals I have for this year are to spend time individually with Sesh and Shane, who are my older 2 sons. With the life changes we're going to have this year, I just think that this is super important to make sure I am spending some one-on-one time with each boy. And my second family goal is to do Sunday night recaps with my husband. I want to make sure that he and I stay connected and on the same page, especially during this new season that we're entering.
The next category is spiritual or faith goals. And for me, I want to make sure that I read the Bible and pray every day. And then I really want to study Acts and Romans. This past year, my spiritual goal was to read the entire Bible straight through, and I did that, but now I really want to spend some time in a couple of books and just dive deeper in those. My business goals are I would like to get 1,000 YouTube subscribers, sell 600 planners, and launch 3 new SKUs. So this is a little vulnerable because these are my actual goals that you guys are seeing written down. So in a year's time, you get to check in and see if I achieved any of those things. Lastly, we have financial goals. And for this one, I am just listing one, and I think it's a big one anyway. My husband and I, my background is in real estate, and so is my husband's. I'm a real estate broker. My husband is a mortgage broker, and we have always wanted rental properties. So my goal for financial is to save a down payment for a rental property. And that's it. Those are my yearly goals. So now let me dive in and explain monthly goals. Monthly goals are not new goals. You're not creating new goals for every single month. That would be just simply chaos. Instead, what you're going to do is you actually take your yearly goals, and your yearly goals get broken down into monthly goals. And this is how you're able to actually achieve those big yearly goals you have. Inside of the planner, I actually give an example of breaking down a yearly goal. So let's review that now. Here's the example. Say you have a business goal for this year to get 500 new email subscribers. Your monthly goal then is 500 divided by 12 months, which will equal 41.6. So therefore, your goal for each month is to get 41 to 42 new email subscribers to hit your yearly goal. Now, I'm not going to break down every single one of my yearly goals on this video because let's save some time here and be the most productive. I'm pretty sure you're going to get the hang of it. You maybe already do just by that example, but I'm going to provide you 2 more examples. One of my business goals that's an easy one to calculate, and then maybe another one that isn't as easy to measure I'll provide as an example as well. First, let's start with one of my business goals, which is to sell 600 planners in this year. So really easy math to do here is you take 600 planners divided by 12 months, and you get 50 planners per month. So now for every single one of my monthly goals in my business section, I am going to write sell 50 planners. Now let's take a look at one of my goals from my family category that maybe isn't as easy to calculate or figure out. So I want to spend individual time with each of my older boys. And I know that the season that we're going into is going to be busy. I know how busy our schedule already is. And so if I want to have them individually, then I need to do something that's going to be reasonable and that we can truly fit into our schedule. So for me, I'm going to say that I want to spend 2 hours each month individually with each boy. Even though that doesn't sound like a lot, in our hectic days and our busy schedules, I know that this is still a stretch goal, but it's really important to me. I think that they need to have individual time each month with me, and I would love to have that too. So that's how I'll break down that yearly goal. And that's how you complete the monthly goal section inside of the Fruitful Planner. Now, of course, I will go in and I will complete the rest of all of the months with all of those goals broken down. Truly, I can't emphasize this enough. This is really how you will achieve your goals, is by breaking them down into monthly goals and into action steps, and then fusing it in with your time management system, which is time blocking, and actually time blocking for your goals every single week. Which leads us into our next section, which is action steps, which is really just a fancy way of saying your monthly goals broken down. This is really where the magic happens, is when you take your monthly goals and you break those down into action steps, which are actually tasks that you will time block for each week. At the time of this recording, action steps are listed on page 28, and inside of the planner, again, I give another example of how to break down your monthly goals into action steps. Here's a look at that example. So we're going to stick with the yearly business goal example that I listed on page 19 of getting 500 new email subscribers. And we know in order to reach that yearly goal, you're going to need to get 41 to 42 new email subscribers each month, which is your monthly goal. There are many action steps you can create to achieve this goal, such as creating a free download that people need to enter their email information to receive, creating a 7-day challenge that requires their email address, having your call to action on a blog be for the reader to sign up for your newsletter, and so much more. Some of your monthly goals are going to break up into nice, neat, tidy, and easy to do action steps. For instance, with my sons, I can pick the first week of every month to have a lunch date with one son, and then I can pick the third week of every month to have a lunch date with another son. And those are my action steps to reach those goals. But then there are other goals that maybe take a little bit more work and thought to plan out. So what I like to do, and what I encourage you to do, is use the notes section below the action steps page and really just fill in there which goals you think you need to kind of brainstorm some ideas of what are some good action steps to reach that goal. So for an example, some of the brainstorming things I did to make sure that I can sell 600 planners in a year, which is 50 planners in a month, I need to have action steps on how to do that. Some action step examples for me to reach that goal of selling 50 planners in a month would be to post on social media, to reach out to one new influencer per month, or 3 or 4, or however many, to create 5 new YouTube videos every single month, to do ad campaigns. So make sure you utilize that little notes section on the action steps, because you're going to be flipping back and forth when you time block each week to look at your monthly goals and the action steps that you brainstormed, because this section is just so important when it comes to time blocking. You are going to want to reference back to it, so I encourage you to just bookmark your monthly goals section. And that's it. That wraps up the goals section inside of the Fruitful Time-Blocker Planner. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can either comment below on this video, or you can send me a DM through Instagram. I would love to hear from you, and I want to help you and support you in any way I can. Also, if you're a little nervous about starting to time block, or if you feel like you need some extra support, I want you to check out this video here. And if you found this video helpful, it would mean so much to me if you hit like and subscribe and you share it with a friend, because it really helps me get the word out there and hopefully help more people on their productivity and time management journeys. As always, my friend, be fruitful with your time, and I will see you soon.